Dual booting operating systems is one of the best way of enjoying two operating systems on the same hardware. You have both the operating system installed on a disk, and when you start your system, it greets you with a menu to choose which operating system to boot. In this video, I will take you through the proper steps required to install Ubuntu 22.04 LTS on a PC having Windows pre-installed and BIOS mode as UEFI. If you don't know what is your system's BIOS mode, don't worry. If your PC is bought in last 4-5 years, there are very high chances that the BIOS mode is UEFI already. However, to cross-verify, I will show you how to check it in the later part of this tutorial. To follow this guide, you will need only 3 things. First, a PC with Windows pre-installed, a USB drive, and stable internet connection. So without further delay, let's start. First of all, we will download all the required files. Open your favorite browser and head over to Ubuntu's official website. For now, 22.04 is the latest LTS release of Ubuntu, so we will download that one. LTS stands for long-term service, which means a system will get security and other updates for a longer period of time. Save the file to any location you want. I will save it in the downloads folder. To create a live installer USB, we need to download a software called Rufus. So let's download that. I will also save this file to my downloads folder. ISO download is complete. Moving to the next part. The process of downloading the files and creating a bootable pen drive can be done on any computer, but the process of partitioning and installation must be done on the computer on which we want to set up dual boot configuration. We will now create a live installer USB. Go to the destination where you have downloaded the files and open Rufus software. Now connect your pen drive to the PC. You will see the pen drive name under the device section. Now select the downloaded ISO file. Here comes the requirement to know your system's BIOS mode for the selection of partition scheme and target system. In Windows search for system information. Under the items column, you can see the BIOS mode option and its value must be UEFI or legacy. If it is UEFI, we are good to go. Select GPT partition scheme in UEFI non-CSM in the target scheme and click on Start button. This will take some time depending upon your PC and pen drive speed, so wait for the completion. There may be two scenarios while partitioning the drives. This is a bootable pen drive we just created, so ignore this. In first case, you may have a drive with some files and free space like this one. So we will shrink this and take out some space from it for our Ubuntu installation. Open the disk management software. You will see all the drive listed here. Now locate the drive from which you want to take out some space. Here it's the D drive I will be using. For our purpose, I would recommend to take out at least 40-50 GB of space. I will take out 100 GB of space so that there is ample amount of space to store my documents, videos, etc. Now you can see the amount of space we wish to take out is marked as unallocated. In the file explorer, you can also see that our disk size is also reduced by 100 GB. For the second case of partitioning, you may have two separate drives for files, and you wish to allocate one of them for Ubuntu installation. Select one of the two drives. After selecting the drive, move the file from that drive to the another, as the selected drive will be formatted. Now again open the disk management software and delete the selected volume. We can see some allocated amount of space, same as that of the drive. So that's done with the partitioning. Before proceeding to the installation, the last step we need to do is to check the boot menu key for our PC so that we can boot into a menu which let us select which drive to boot at startup. This key varies according to different PC manufacturers. For example, you can search HP boot menu key for HP devices, or you can simply search boot menu key on Google and find your PC's boot menu key. For my PC, F9 is the boot menu key. Now completely shut down your computer. Again, turn on your PC. Just after pressing the power button, continuously press the boot menu key. You will be booted into a menu where you will see various drives and options. Here you will see name of our pen drive which we use to create a bootable pen drive. Select that drive and hit enter. You will be greeted with such interface. Select Try or install Ubuntu and hit enter. Wait for the booting process to complete. After successful boot, you will see two options: Try Ubuntu and Install Ubuntu. You can explore Ubuntu by just clicking on Try Ubuntu button without actually installing it on your system. But for this tutorial, we are interested in installing Ubuntu, so let's do that. Select your keyboard layout. By default, English US is selected, which works fine for most of us. If you have a Wi-Fi card on your PC laptop, then somewhere in between you will get a prompt to enter your Wi-Fi credentials. So enter that so that you can download updates while installation. We can also skip this step and do it later if you don't have access to the internet. Click on normal installation if you are installing Ubuntu for the first time. This will save you a lot of time from installing various basic stuff. Also check the box install third-party software for graphics and etc. You can also check the download update box if you have internet access. Now here comes the most important part. After this part, everything will not be as previous. You may also see a menu like this, but ignore that and click on something else. Now we will be creating the partitions for our Ubuntu installation from the free space we created before. I will suggest you to fully watch this partitioning part and then do it on your PC so that you have clear idea of the process. Your partitioning table will look something like this. It will already have some entries of Windows partitions. Don't do anything to these entries. Just select the free space. It will be the unallocated space which we created before with the help of disk management software. You may also see other free spaces, but they will be very small in size. Ignore them. The free space we created will have large size as gigabytes are expressed in megabytes here. Click on the free space and then click on the plus icon. We will create our first partition as the root partition. Allocate size of 15 to 30 GB to it. I will be allocating 25 GB to the root partition. Select type as logical. Keep use as ext4 journaling system and mount point as /. Again, clicking on the left free space and plus icon will create a swap partition. This is not necessary as you can create a swap file later, but it is good to have. Keep everything as it is and select use as swap area. Allocate swap size according to your RAM. If you have less than 3 GB of RAM, allocate double the swap size of the RAM. And if you have RAM greater than 3 GB, then you can allocate the swap size as same as that of RAM. You can multiply your RAM size by 1024 to get your RAM size into megabytes. I have 3 GB RAM installed on my PC, so I am allocating 6144 megabytes of space to it. At last, we will create a home partition where we will be storing all our documents, files, etc. We are creating a separate home partition because if in future while doing some task we broke our system, we can reinstall Ubuntu while keeping our documents files safe. Otherwise, if we will install it in the root partition, all our data may also get lost. We will now allocate all the remaining space to this partition, so don't change anything in size. Also, Leave everything as it is and just select the mount point as home and click OK. Now you can clearly see that we have created 3 partitions. First, an ext4 root partition, second, a swap partition, and third, home partition. And again reminding, don't do anything with other partition as our Windows installation is in them. Otherwise, we may lose Windows data. Now click on install now and click OK. Select your country and continue. Fill username, computer name and all the data according to your choice. And then click on continue. Now sit back, relax and wait for the installation to complete. This may take a bit long, around 10 to 15 minutes. So be patient. After installation is finished, click on Restart Now button. Remove your pen drive and hit enter. Congratulations, if you are able to see a menu with these two options, Ubuntu and Windows Boot Manager on Dev SDA, you have successfully set up dual boot configuration on your machine. Now you can boot into any OS you want. So first we will boot into Ubuntu. We are successfully into the login screen. Enter your password and hit enter. We are into Ubuntu here now. Now let's try to boot the Windows. Select Windows Boot Manager and hit enter. As you can see, a Windows login screen appears. We can use our Windows now. So from now, every time you start your PC, you will be able to choose from which operating system to use. After this process, some people may face two problems. First, you may see an incorrect time in the operating system. You can solve this problem easily by setting the time in the operating system setting. The second problem you may face is to shut down the Windows. Go to power plan settings and disable the fast startup. This will easily solve your problem. Here concluding, this video was a bit lengthy to follow, but I hope you'll be able to set up dual boot on your system. Thanks for watching. See you in the next part of this video in which we will configure our newly installed Ubuntu. Bye bye.